In 2013, there was a major outbreak all across the Midwest. 631 people in 25 states reported similar symptoms. 49 people were hospitalized, but there were no reported deaths, leaving health officials puzzled as to the cause. According to the health officials, in Iowa and Nebraska, the outbreak was linked to a salad mix produced by Taylor Farms de Mexico. However, health officials in Texas conducted investigations that found the cause of the illness among the residents to be cilantro from Puebla, Mexico. It has been concluded that there were multiple sources of the outbreak from June to August in 2013.
While it was an uncommon outbreak, it was not the first of its kind. The first detected outbreak caused by Cyclospora cayetanensis was in 1990 and was linked to contaminated water. Since then, the pathogen has been repeatedly seen in raspberries imported from Guatemala. While most have not heard of Cyclospora, it is known to cause about 15,000 illnesses annually in the United States alone. So, the questions are, how do you become infected? What do you do once you are infected? How do you prevent the infection? And what are the implications for the future?
Cyclospora cayetanensis is a parasite transmitted via fecal matter, specifically human waste, as recent studies suggest reproduction to only take place in humans. Therefore, cross-contamination of human waste and food products is the source of the problem. Cyclospora is dependent upon the host to reproduce and continue the life cycle. So let's learn a little more from the bottom up. The freshly passed human stool contains unsporulated oocysts that are not infectious. Yet, what is an oocyst? They are spherical, durable, and thick-walled cysts found in the life cycle of coccidian parasites. After days or weeks at temperatures between 22 and 32 degrees Celsius, favorable conditions cause division into two infectious cells. This is called sporulation. At this point in the life cycle, the parasite can cause disease. This is where fresh produce or water can be vehicles of contamination for the parasite. Sporulated oocysts are ingested and travel to the gastrointestinal tract. Then, these infectious cells invade the epithelial cells of the small intestines. Inside the cell, asexual and sexual reproduction begin. Through asexual reproduction, more infectious cells are produced, infecting other intestinal cells. However, sexual reproduction can also occur from the infectious cells, systematically becoming male and female cells capable of producing gametes. These cells produce microgametes that fuse together during fertilization, forming a zygote, eventually maturing into an oocyst. Lastly, after inducing apoptosis, the oocyst ruptures the intestinal cell to be released in stool. It is not believed to be transferred through person-to-person contact, unlike Cryptosporidium parvum.
A mysterious foodborne stomach bug is spreading across the nation, and the CDC has yet to pinpoint the source. Dr. William Schaffner is a professor of preventive medicine at Vanderbilt University. Good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
We know that this has affected more than 200 people. What's causing it?
Well, we're not entirely sure. It's caused, the infectious agent, that is a parasite by the name of Cyclospora. And it's a tenacious critter because it can produce a prolonged, watery, very uncomfortable diarrhea that's also associated with nausea and abdominal cramps and often profound fatigue.
So if you have those feelings, what do you do?
So, Charlie, go to a doctor, mention the fact that you might have Cyclospora. The doctor can get specimens and send them off to a reference lab for diagnosis, and then there's some treatment available.
Because cyclosporiasis is caused by contaminated food and water, prevention will be contributed to sanitation and hygiene.
Now, I should point out that cyclospora is usually found on produce that may have come in contact with fecal matter. Eesh.
Ensuring that water supplies are not contaminated with fecal matter will be one of the best means of prevention. The U.S. has many procedures enforced, such as sanitation standard operating procedures, to eliminate cross-contamination from poor hygiene and sanitation. Yet cyclosporiasis mostly occurs in developing countries. The main concern for people within the U.S. is to avoid contaminated food and water when traveling. It appears to be more common in regions such as subtropical areas and tropical areas, and is also seasonal, but there is no known pattern.
So, let's take a step back and ask, what are the implications that we can draw from learning about Cyclospora? For one, we can learn the importance of proper sanitation and hygiene. But we can also learn about the importance of helping to establish clean water supplies in developing countries. Even further, we can imply that there is a need for funding for research on parasitic organisms for better detection and control of foodborne illnesses.